What's up YouTube? Welcome to the channel. My name is Fareed and this is another episode of the Cardano Scoop. Now, if it's your first time visiting the channel, I aim to provide you guys in the Cardano community with the latest news when it comes to the top projects within the Cardano ecosystem. And so if this type of content interests you, make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time visiting the channel, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, then make sure to leave those down below. In today's video, I want to give you guys a quick update on where we stand when it comes to the status of the Vasil Hardfork. Following that, I want to highlight a recent announcement surrounding the MELD project and an upcoming AMA with their CEO, who is Ken Oling. Following that, I want to discuss Genius Yield and their upcoming NFT mint. And then at the very end of this video, we're going to wrap up by talking about a recent partnership between Minswap and AADA Finance. Without taking up any more time, let's talk about the Vasil Hardfork. Now, if you're not already aware, IOG, which is the team building Cardano, has officially confirmed that the Vasil Hardfork is slated for the mainnet on Cardano this September 22nd. Now, over the past few weeks on this channel, we've been covering three key metrics that have to be met in order for the Vasil Hardfork to be triggered. The first, which we've already met, is that at least 75% of mainnet blocks being created need to be coming from the final Vasil Hardfork candidate, which is version 1.35.3. The second, which is still in progress, is that approximately 25 exchanges need to upgrade to the final Vasil Hardfork node candidate. And then the third, which is also still in progress, is that the top 10 dApps by TVL on the Cardano blockchain need to confirm that they've also upgraded to the final Vasil Hardfork candidate in the pre-production environment. So scrolling down here, as I mentioned, the first requirement has already been met, which is listed here. We're currently at 95% of blocks being created right now are coming from the Vasil Hardfork candidate. And then scrolling down, I want to quickly touch on some of the top exchanges and where they currently stand in terms of the upgrade. So previously we did see that Binance was in the in progress status. As of late, we have seen that flip to green and they're now ready for the Vasil Hardfork. Upbit is still in progress. MEXC and Bitrue have been completed for about, I think, a week or two. And then we also have Binance, which is probably the next biggest exchange following Binance, and they're still in progress. And then we have AAX, which I'm actually not too familiar with. However, they're also completed with the upgrade. And we have XT.com, which is still in progress. Now, if you guys want to check out this particular article for yourself, I will leave the link to it. And I do want to highlight that this is updated in real time. And then just kind of scrolling down here, we have some of the smaller exchanges that we can see have updated as well. So it does look like over the past few days, there has been a lot of progress when it comes to upgrading by exchanges for the Hardfork candidate. Now, scrolling down here, I do want to quickly highlight some of the top 10 dApps within the ecosystem and where they currently stand. Now, over the past few weeks, we have seen more of these columns here on the right hand side, which again is the basically the confirmation that these dApps have upgraded in the pre-production environment. And so kind of starting off here from the bottom, we've now seen Revuto has confirmed that they're now upgraded in all three of the environments. So that's the Vasil DevNet, the preview environment, and the pre-production environment. MELD is now currently testing in the pre-production environment. We're also seeing ADAX Pro, Vi Finance, Muesli Swap, Sunday Swap, and Minswap, who are all also currently testing in the pre-production environment. Now, when it comes to the top 10 dApps that have already completed their testing in the pre-production environment, we have to give a shout out to Wing Riders, Lending Pond, AADA Finance, as well as Revuto and D Quadrant. And so again, we're now at about 45% of the top 10 or 11 or so dApps within the Cardano ecosystem that have tested in the pre-production environment. Now that's really going to wrap it up for today's update on the Vasil Hardfork. As I mentioned before, it should be launching on the 22nd of this September, so I'll be keeping a close eye on that, and I'll continue to make sure to cover this as it gets closer. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is going to be one of my more favorite projects, or one of my most favorite projects, I should say, which is going to be MELD. And so if you're not already familiar with MELD, they're going to be a decentralized lending and borrowing protocol launching on the Cardano blockchain. Over the past few weeks, the team has been heads down building during the bear market. However, we've now seen a recent announcement stating that they'll be hosting an AMA where you guys can ask the team members any questions that you may have surrounding the MELD protocol. And so I'll definitely make sure to attend this particular call, and I'll be taking notes, and I'll be following up with another video after the AMA to keep you guys posted. Now, with that said, Ken, who is the CEO, will be participating in answering questions from the community. And if you would like to submit your questions for Ken or any other members of the MELD team, you can do so by using the Typeform survey, which they have linked in their tweet. I'll also go ahead and make sure to leave this in the description down below if you're interested in submitting your questions. And then as an alternative method, you can join their Discord in order to submit your questions there as well. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is that if you want to enter for the opportunity to win 1,000 MELD tokens, all you have to do is retweet this tweet and you will automatically be entered into a drawing to potentially earn that MELD. Again, just want to spread the word when it comes to this particular update. And that's really kind of it for MELD. We have seen some other updates recently coming out about Akamon, but I do want to highlight here that if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend joining this call. Now I want to jump into their Discord here and just kind of show you guys what these questions look like. And so I'm already in the Discord here and I've already accessed the AMA questions thread. And as we can see here, we have some recent questions surrounding security of the Akamon bridge. If you're not already familiar with what Akamon is, it's going to be a bridging platform basically connecting Cardano as well as Polygon. Now it's going to allow for liquidity to kind of go through both ecosystems. And so if you have Cardano based tokens, you'll be able to transfer those to the Polygon network. And then if you have Ethereum based tokens, you'll also be able to port those over to interact with the Cardano blockchain. Now, with that said, there has been a lot of attacks when it comes to bridges. And so I think it's pretty fair of a question, at least coming from the community, in regards to what MELD will be doing when it comes to security. Now, we've also seen some additional questions here about private sales as well as a hackathon. And so again, if you guys have your own personal questions, make sure to either join the Discord or use the Typeform survey link below. So that's really going to be it for the brief update on MELD and their upcoming AMA. Next, I want to highlight an upcoming NFT sale for the Genius Yield project. If you've never heard of Genius Yield before, they're going to be an all-in-one platform that aims to combine a concentrated liquidity DEX with an automated yield optimizer. Now, if you want to find out more about their core features and services, I do have a fully dedicated video on the protocol. So I'll leave a link to that video down in the description below. And what I really want to highlight today is going to be their upcoming NFT mint for their Genius NFTs. Now, the Genius team already has two existing collections of NFTs, with the first one being their mascot collection. This has already been sold out. However, if you're looking to purchase one of these, you can do so using a secondary marketplace. The second collection, which is currently minting, is going to be their ISPO NFT collection. And in order to be eligible to mint one of these, you would have to have delegated during their ISPO. The third collection, which has just been announced, and it's actually going to start minting on the 19th of this month through the 21st, is going to be their Genius NFTs. And so this is going to be a collection of 8,000 NFTs, and there's actually going to be 2 rounds of sales, one which is going to be a private or a whitelisted sale with a follow-up sale occurring for the public. Taking a look at the recent article released by the Genius Yield team, we can see that the Genius NFTs will be 8,000 collectible and dazzling 3D cards featuring the new mascot, and they're also going to provide utility directly on the Genius Yield platform. Moving along, the Genius NFTs will grant anywhere between 2% to 6% APY boost on Gen's rewards from liquidity mining on the Gen staking program for 1 full year. There is also an example here of exactly how those rewards will work. And then one other thing that I want to mention here is that the Genius NFTs APY boosts will not be stackable, and you can only use 1 APY boost at a time. Now, when it comes to the actual rarity of these NFTs, there's going to be 4 different levels. The first is going to be the common, followed by rare, then epic, and then legendary. Now, when it comes to the actual supply of these different rarities, 75% of the NFTs will be marked as common, about 19% will be marked as rare, 6.2% will be marked as epic, and then a very small 0.1% will be marked as legendary. Now, when it comes to the actual dates of the NFT mint itself, as I mentioned before, there's going to be 2 rounds of minting, and in order to be eligible for the whitelist, you do need to hold one of the ISPO NFTs, which I mentioned before that you can earn by having delegated to their ISPO. Now, if you miss the opportunity to delegate during the ISPO, you can still buy one of these from a secondary marketplace, such as jpeg.store. Now, once you actually purchase your NFT and you have it in your wallet, you're going to want to make sure to head over to the Genius Yield Discord, where you can actually verify your wallet holding the NFT. And then once you do that, you're going to get a specific role. And then you're also going to be able to see a new channel where you can actually whitelist or request to be whitelisted for the very first round of minting. Now, in terms of the actual dates themselves, the first round of minting will begin on Monday, September 19th of 2022 at 2 p.m. UTC, again, for all ISPO whitelisted holders. The second round of minting will begin on Tuesday, September 20th of 2022 at 2 p.m. Now, when it comes to the actual public mint, we're going to see 2,000 Genius NFTs that are going to be available for a cost of 70 AADA each, and these are all going to be sold on a first come, first served basis. At the bottom of the article, there's additional instructions surrounding how you can join the whitelist, and on top of that, I'm going to leave the link to my videos surrounding the Genius Yield protocol as well as the upcoming NFT mint. There's one other thing that I want to quickly touch on, and that's going to be an upcoming ISPO for the sister project to Genius Yield, which is Genius X. Now, if you've never heard of Genius X before, they're going to be an accelerator program, and their goal is going to be to assist brand new projects who are launching on the Cardano blockchain. Now, I'm going to jump back into their particular Medium article surrounding their ISPO. And just like before, I have a fully dedicated video, which I'm going to leave a link to down in the description below if you want to find out more about the ISPO. In summary, as a delegator to the Gen stake pools, you're going to have the opportunity to earn a total of 5 different tokens for various projects that are being assisted as a part of Genius X. Now, right now, there's the current Genius X ISPO, which is actually going to be ending on September 12th. However, as soon as that wraps up, there's going to be a pivot to the new multi-token ISPO. Now, this is going to be a first within the Cardano ecosystem, and I highly recommend that you check out this article if you're interested in participating. Moving along, I'm going to touch on my very last story for today, and that's going to be a recent partnership between the Minswap DEX and AADA Finance. So let me share my screen with you guys one more time. And as we can see here, Minswap Labs is going to officially be partnering with AADA Finance. And so as this particular article reads, today we're thrilled to announce our latest partnership with AADA Finance. Now, if you're not familiar with what AADA Finance is, they're a crypto asset lending platform on the Cardano blockchain that aims to enable users the ability to lend and borrow cryptocurrencies in a trustless manner. AADA Finance and Minswap will be collaborating on 3 different fronts. The first is going to be a liquidation oracle, the second is going to be a collateral swap function, and the third is going to be AADA liquidity incentives or rewards directly on the Minswap DEX. And so when it comes to the liquidation oracle is going to be AADA's decentralized solution to perform liquidations. As a lending and borrowing platform, there's a big need for a decentralized and autonomous oracle. Now, if you're not familiar with what an oracle is, this is basically going to be a bit of software that's going to allow for real-world data to be ported directly into the Cardano ecosystem. And so as a very simple example, imagine that you have a weather application or weather Dapp on the Cardano blockchain that needs to have consistent input or information surrounding the weather. They would basically be using an oracle that's going to provide them the real world data, and that's going to transfer directly for them to use on the Cardano blockchain. AADA's liquidation oracle can only approve liquidation transactions when the loan to collateral value decreases to a certain level. And so let's say that you basically have a loan out on the AADA platform for a certain amount, and the value of that particular loan drops to a certain level. At that point, you will be in the risk of being liquidated. Now, Minswap liquidity pools will be used by the liquidation oracle nodes to perform these liquidations. And Minswap itself will be participating as one of the node runners, earning a share of the liquidation fee. And so it looks like if you do get liquidated as a user of the AADA platform, there's going to be some fees associated with that, and the Minswap platform or the Minswap DEX will be helping out with that process. Next is going to be the collateral swaps. And so Minswap is currently the most liquid DEX on Cardano. As such, AADA Finance will rely on Minswap liquidity pools in order to liquidate and swap collateral for defaulted loans. And so what this basically means is that if you're in the position to where you do get liquidated on AADA, they're actually going to be using Minswap to basically perform any transactions based on whatever tokens you're using for your particular loan. And so again, I think this is going to be a really good partnership. It seems to be very mutually beneficial. It looks like AADA is going to be able to use the Minswap platform in order to execute their liquidations. And Minswap is basically going to be able to get the traffic coming from AADA loans that may potentially be liquidated. The last item I want to highlight when it comes to the partnership between AADA Finance and Minswap is that there's going to be additional incentives to liquidity providers who are providing liquidity for the AADA token. And so in order to increase the AADA token liquidity on the Minswap DEX before the mainnet launch of AADA, the team has proposed the addition of additional incentives for the particular token pair. This highlights the intention of AADA to grow its liquidity and its choice of the Minswap DEX as the most user-friendly DEX on the Cardano blockchain. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Cardano Scoop, in which we've covered the status of the Vasil Hardfork, the upcoming AMA for the MELD team, as well as the mint dates for the Genius NFTs, as well as the recent partnership between Minswap and AADA Finance. Now, if you guys found some of the information covered in today's video to be helpful, then please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time visiting the channel, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, then make sure to leave those down in the comment section below. With that said, I will see you guys in the next video.